Hello, my fellow WST 460 peers. My name is Carly Roller, and welcome to part 2 of my video midterm. So today for this video, what I wanted to talk about was sexuality and porn, and proper and improper desires. So what I wanted to lead with today is, I remember back in, I think it was Unit 3, we talked about porn for women, how the porn industry portrays sex and women, and what kind of consequences that has just on women in general. So today I went on the internet, it's a wonderful resource, and I looked up a TED Talk. I had seen it a while ago, but I wanted to find it again, and I did. And it was about a student from Tel Aviv University, and he goes in depth about why he stopped watching porn. You know, he has a lot of personal reasons why he stopped watching porn, but one of the most pertinent reasons why he stopped was because he was saying that it was starting to affect him on more of like an emotional level, and it was starting to affect his relationship with his significant other. So, as he brings up in his video, and as we see in the article that we read, let me bring it up really quick. Porn for Women by DazedDigital.com. When we read that article on Dazed Digital, we see a lot of similarities between what they're saying, what that woman who worked in the porn industry says about the porn industry, and what this student from Tel Aviv University says about the effect that watching porn religiously had on his relationship. Pretty much, he goes on to state that when you watch porn, there's no buildup, there's no kissing, heavy petting, make out, nothing. Like, it just goes straight to hardcore penetration, like put it in and out and in and out, and that's all it focuses on, and the camera angle is just all up in there, and because the camera has to be pretty much right there where the action's going on, you know, the man isn't even free to like put his hands on the woman when they're having sex. He can't touch her or pet her, or, you know, it's very detached, the action and the emotions that someone feels during intercourse. So when watching that, he said that he started to feel more aggressive in general. He started to feel more aggressive towards his significant other. Their sex life started to suffer because she noticed that he was not being as intimate with her as they used to be. It was more just about the sex and not about the very important things leading up to sex, especially important for women. And when you go and read this article, she has a great quote on here, and she says, "One top executive back when I started told me, forget about your project, Erica. Women would never pay for female-oriented content. They get paid for sex. I don't expect that industry to be supportive of what I do." So right there, she says that people in the porn industry, they're not interested in creating porn for women. They're not interested in creating videos that are focused on heavy petting, touching, intimacy, chivalry. They don't even think about that. They're just thinking about what pretty much most men want, which is just, you know, get down to action, don't worry about all that other stuff, like just show me the money shot, basically. So I thought that was really interesting that actually it was a man who decided to do that for his TED Talks, and then here's a woman on the other side of the fence who works in the porn industry saying, hey, yeah, you know, like, this is what they feel like people want. So we go on to read about the article, and she starts talking about her project that feature real people, you know, in real sex situations, and I started looking up different websites that kind of catered to that type of audience, and I found Make Love Not Porn. So if you haven't heard of it, Make Love Not Porn just takes average couples, real people, and it shows their experiences in the bedroom. It shows, you know, the good, the bad, and the ugly, basically. You know, and they're very strict when they say, oh, we don't want anything that looks produced. We don't want anything that looks like you prepared it. We just want to see you and your significant other making love in the way that you guys enjoy making love. That's what we want to see. And I think you pay like a $5 a one-time fee, and then after that, you can go to the site. So I decided that I was going to go on there and do my own research on this, and I wasn't disappointed. I felt like the videos on there really did, not only did they normalize regular sex, but they made regular sex look appealing. They made that regular, making love not super theatrical, you know what I mean? Like the camera just stays in the one spot the whole time. And it really did bring that kind of intimacy that I think a lot of mainstream porn lacks. Not only that, but obviously the women in these videos, they're wives, mothers, they're not porn stars, and so they don't look like porn stars. They don't have 700cc breasts. They don't have a perfect spray tan and a Brazilian wax. They are just regular women making love to their partner. And that was probably the most important thing that I noticed, was that these women were not only normalizing normal, healthy sexual relationships, but they were also normalizing women's bodies as well, which I think is another thing that you'll notice a lot in the porn industry, is you don't see regular women. These women, are they make themselves look a certain way that they think are appealing to men. Moving off of that topic about sex and everything else, I wanted to talk about proper and improper desires. So, proper and improper desires are pretty much normal desires that everybody has. I mean, I think everybody has fetishes. But the thing is they're fetishes for a reason. They're fetishes because they're not widely accepted. So it becomes sort of this niche market for this specific fetish, and a lot of people are ashamed about their fetishes because, according to society, sex belongs between a straight man and a straight woman, and you guys have sex in missionary, and that is it. Then you guys make babies, and that's the only point of having sex, is to make babies. Well, I mean, anyone who's had sex knows that that's really not the point all the time. I mean, for some it is, but the singular point of sex is not just to make a baby. It's about exploring your own body and finding what feels good for you. And so sometimes to explore those sexual fetishes, we have to kind of go outside of our comfort zone and hope that we don't get judged by society because of what we want is not considered normal. As we saw in the Praise of Fat, that was a video all about appreciating this woman's body, and this woman was larger than what society's ideal is. And for a man to openly lust after a woman that is heavier would be considered improper. And if you go to the link on the video, if you go to the full site where it's featured on, you can see that this is already ruffling some feathers because people are commenting below, oh, that's disgusting. She is gross. You should not be glorifying obesity. Oh, she's going to die of heart disease. Pretty much trying to make it sound like they're really concerned for this person's health, but in reality, they are just offended that this woman is so confident in her body that she doesn't care if her dude just licks water off of her body. She doesn't care. And that's what's really offending them. They feel like this person should be extremely ashamed of themselves, and how can they get naked and with that body? I mean, oh, it's just unhealthy. And I think that does speak volumes, too, about our society right now and what we find as proper and improper desires. And the unfortunate thing is that it does kind of create this mystique around these kind of fetishes, and it makes it makes the person who does enjoy these things feel really guilty about what they like. And this is a driving factor as well for the porn industry, because they definitely capitalize off of putting those fetishes out there. On the one hand, I feel like it can be a positive thing because it could let people know, like, hey, you're not the only one who finds this attractive or is into this sexually. But at the same time, it kind of, at the same time, it profits off of the fact that this is unacceptable. So that is all I have to say. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy your winter break.